Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Great, thanks. And thanks for inviting me here today
You're
to talk
very
about
welcome.
Aquamix. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Well, today we're here to bring you an informational video on sealing and cleaning products by Aquamix. So, Kathy, do you want to kick it off?
Sure. Sealers provide stain resistance. So they help maintain the beauty of the stone so that people don't have to necessarily worry about it going long term. Sealers should be breathable, they should be UV resistant, chemically resistant, should not adversely affect the slip coefficient of friction. And that's certainly important in the landscape trade because the last thing your contractors want is to be slip sliding away or having their clients do that.
Question number 1. What is a good sealer for Owen Sound Natural Stone?
I would recommend Sealer's Choice Gold. It's a premium penetrating water-based sealer that will last up to typically 15 years. It will not adversely affect the slip coefficient of friction, which is perfect. And I would also highly recommend it around salt water pools.
Question number 2. What is the best sealer to give your natural stone a wet look?
That's a great question, Joe, because a lot of people want the wet look. What they really want is they want to see the stone pop.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Aquamix offers two sealers. One is called Enrich and Seal, and the other one is called Stone Enhancer. Now, the only thing I would say about these sealers is that for the contractor, it's very important that they have their clients sign off on it.
Right.
Because once it is changed, it cannot be undone. So make sure everybody in the household is in agreement with that look.
Well, that's a great piece of advice. Question number 3. A lot of people think sealing your natural stone will make it slippery. Is that the case?
Well, there are two different types of sealers. There are penetrating sealers and topical sealers.
Right.
Penetrating sealers are what we would recommend for landscape application.
Right.
You would apply the sealer, soak into the stone, leaving the carrier on the surface. So within 3 to 5 minutes, it's important to remove that carrier from the surface so it should not make the stone slippery.
Question number 4. How long does sealer last?
Well, sealers can last anywhere between 2 and 15 years typically.
Right.
It would depend on the sealer, of course. There are premium penetrating sealers or there are economical versions as well.
Right, like the Enrich and Seal.
That lasts up to 15 years, as does Sealer's Choice Gold.
Question number 5. How often do you have to reseal?
Well, that depends on many things. Certainly the material that is being sealed and its porosity.
Right.
Foot traffic, what it's being cleaned with.
Right.
Right? And because there are different types of surfaces, I would highly recommend that you talk to the folks at Beaver Valley and they would be able to tell you how often you need to seal it.
And when you seal, typically how many coats would you put on the product?
I would recommend 2 coats for the landscape trade.
Right. That's pretty common for sealers.
Well, and you can also pre-seal before grouting, and that will help with the grout haze.
Right. That's a great tip. Question number 6. Typically after you install your natural stone, how long would you wait before you seal it?
Well, I think it's really important that it be completely dry before applying the sealer. And in the landscape trade, you've got 2 different ways, wet lay or dry lay. In a wet lay, obviously you want that substrate to cure for at least 24 to 48 days.
Right.
Right? In a dry lay, I would recommend that you pay attention to the humidity and precipitation in the air because that too will play a factor.
And typically sometimes contractors will install natural stone over limestone screenings, which we don't recommend, but it does happen. How would you go about sealing that type of install?
Well, you want to check for moisture first.
Right.
So, one of the ways you can do it is certainly with a moisture test. A simple one would be to put a piece of saran wrap on the stone, tape it down, and come back the next day and see if there's condensation. That would indicate that there's still moisture in there.